Inception from 2010 is a Christopher Nolan movie about dreams and how we can access them, and the infinite universes and dimensions and creations that can happen. This is what I'm reviewing today. So there's this. So Ken Watanabe plays a president of an energy company who's trying to kind of take down trying to implant an idea on his rival, saying, "Hey, don't inherit the company, otherwise you will control half the world's energy and create a monopoly." And it would just be espionage. And I never gave this film a second. I never watched it until tonight. And I can say, yes, there is indeed definitely more of the Christopher Nolan directing style, the magic, and everything else. And yes, I definitely enjoyed this movie very much. I like the concept and the visuals. Leonardo DiCaprio is great in this. It's just, um, yeah, it's a third heist, third action, and third emotional. And I could not connect with it emotionally. What with the secret that Dominic Cobb has about what he did with his wife, and I'm like, okay, then that's interesting stuff right there. But I like more of the aspect of the dreams and the dreams within dreams, and ultimately you can go down to this third layer, and how far can you go? It's like, okay, what do we have here? Um, this movie combines espionage and action very dang well. I liked how, in order to delve deeper into the subconscious of how you can still be lucid when dreaming, um, you have to I guess jack in would be the best descriptor of, like, okay, here we're going to have one person who's guarding us. Let's have this guy named Yusuf drive everyone, or else we're reaching into the second layer. I'm like, okay, I like the stakes and the danger that is going on here. And what is the ultimate what's the word I'm looking for? Frame or conception that it is trying to do. And it is trying to achieve, I guess, kind of giving an intellectual approach to the standard heist movies that have not that much emotional intelligence or depth to the characters. And I'm like, okay, I can see what's going on here. And obviously, like, how are we going to have these type of dreams going on? It's like, you got all the MC Escher paintings. That's what I noticed. There's even a staircase in the beginning that's called, what was it, the Rose Bar staircase, where it goes up and around. But then when you get, like, right up to the very end, because if you view it from one angle, it's there. But then when you climb it and then you observe it from a different angle, it's a completely different object. And that's what was going on. It's like how one perceives it and how one can create it. But what I like the most myself was the discussion of how to build it. Like, for example, Cobb does not want he wants to always create new worlds within the first and second one, so he has no attachment to anything. He just constantly dreams new stuff, whether it's like pulling those frames within frames of a mirror that just go on and on forever. Pretty much that when Elliot Page pulls the doors, that was a really, really interesting scene, and I'm like, pretty darn cool. So, and it's like they have this little object, like some people it's going to be a top, other it's going to be a chess piece or whatever, in order to ensure that they are not within a dream and that they are right there on the top floor in the awake world, not in the dream world or lucid dreaming. So, and obviously you still have a lot of gun. You still have a lot of firearm action going on, a lot of great chase scenes, and wondering why is there a train that's going on here. Which we do find out later, and it's been 15 years. Almost everyone has seen this movie. It turns out that the wife pretty much just committed suicide right there, saying like, hey, you're going to go on a train for a long while, you don't know where it's going. Kind of like a purgatory for, what is that, an allegory for limbo. So, everyone's seen this movie. And, there have been the themes, like some people say it's like, hey, some people said, you're like, what, The Matrix, how it is controlled by computers and it's authoritarian. This one is more self-induced, and you can create the world. You can create the world however you want. Maybe you can gain some influence as you have as the prefrontal cortex. By the way, the myth about us not using our brain, that's complete BS. It's the different layers of critical thinking that go on, because I know you have the ventrolateral lobe for full. You have the side lobes and all the other parts that control breathing, hearing, word processing, etc. That is complete BS. It is either if you, I guess you can do tantric yoga or just read books and just get yourself to be more intelligent and smart and understanding more. So say what you will about that. I don't give a rat's behind. So ultimately, I think the concept is great and phenomenal, and it just feels really, gosh darn, fantastic. Yes, Christopher Nolan himself was originally going to write a novel, like an espionage, about this concept here, but didn't have the funding for it at the time. But because of the success of the Batman movies, he said, okay, they pretty much said, here, you have all access to be able to write this movie however you want. And even Leonardo DiCaprio was very interested with the project. Those two have always wanted to work together in the past, for their schedules and everything didn't align. So ultimately, it worked here. Yes, he is great because he has to deal with the emotional depth along with being the leader and trying to get everything converging correctly. So that was dang good performance by him. Yeah, and hey, it's going on here, and so of course there's a reference, like you have the maze in the beginning of like it. It's just simple, and he says, hey, you have 2 minutes to design a maze that takes 1 minute to get through, and just like little squares and traditional stuff. Ultimately, draws the maze, I think, was it the Minotaur is trapped in or something like that, and when even one of the characters is named was the daughter of someone who was sacrificed to go into the layer of the Minotaur. So that was a nice, interesting analogy. I know that there was like, just because no one loves to use practical effects, which is based in reality. I think there was like this anti-gravity design or whatever that these characters fight in, and they had the harnesses and everything. It was just very interesting to see. I mean, this massive room or section or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's pretty freaking wicked. I'm like, hot dang, that was cool to see. Just all the kicking and them just floating around. I like that, and I also like the tribute to, of all things, the infiltrations. When they're on the third level, that's Nolan taking influence from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. The infiltration scene on the actual, I guess, center where Blofeld is trying to get the ladies to do the dirty work for him. So that was actually a very nice tribute. And I saw some moments between that and James Bond. I like that a lot. So, this movie, it really does feel like you are walking into other worlds. You can create the infinite possibilities. That's what exactly was going on here. And it's like it takes some influence from other, like Wikipedia has said, if you read what the reviews are saying, hey, we got influence from other like French filmmakers and other people who influence them, like saying, yeah, you can definitely see it in the concept of all the perspectives and everything else and how we can design it. Yes, I like that a lot. As for me, do I have lucid dreaming? Yes, sometimes. It's only when I'm either in like the third or fourth, yeah, I'd say the third stage of REM sleep. But I've noticed is like sometimes around like, I don't know, 4 in the morning, or if I have my cell phone that's either charging, I notice that interferes with the electrical patterns in my brain. Like, it needs to have a certain number of jolts or volts or whatever to get it going for it to dream and stuff like that. What is that called? Action potential, I think. Anyway, yeah, it just depends on, and also let's not forget the meal that you have. So, it's like if you have a dream, it's like if you like have, I don't know, 3 beers at like midnight and you go to bed at 1, yeah, that's going to f with your brain. But if you have a little bit of warm milk, you'll probably be fine. So, yeah, and I was shot for a while. Ultimately, it all worked out. It made 836 million dollars at the box office, and proven just like, hey, um, for summer blockbusters, it's like, you can have all your fun ones, and then you can have the intelligent ones that make you think and piece together everything, and that's what I feel about it. And of course, I gotta mention, there's the jokes like how everyone was referencing Inception or Ception and Reception and everything else. I had literally no idea about it until I just read it like 13 minutes ago before I hit the record button. I just never really pay attention to this movie. So yeah, Christopher Nolan to Kid Watanabe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Marianne Cotillard, Ellen Page, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, Tom Berenger, and even Michael Caine. Y'all worked on a freaking amazing, incredible movie. Do I recommend that you watch Inception? Oh, heck yes. Yes.